G'day folks, this is Laurie and Jack with the fourth of our 5 videos that chronicle our journey across Australia from near Bunbury to Melbourne. This video covers the journey from Ceduna down to Port Lincoln, up the Spencer Gulf and across to Adelaide. After leaving Ceduna, we were re-entering Australia's Mediterranean climate zone. So all the way to Melbourne, the weather was cold, wet and windy. As we got closer to Streaky Bay, it became apparent that Jackie had COVID and that I would probably get it too. So we pushed on to Streaky Bay where there was a hospital available if we should need it. So we were very lucky to spend our compulsory 2 weeks of hibernation and isolation at a lovely caravan park on the foreshore of Streaky Bay. From our cabin on the edge of the bay, Jackie was able to spend a lot of her time taking photos of waterbirds and developed a real love affair with pelicans. After 2 weeks of compulsory COVID isolation, we headed off for the 300-kilometre ride to Port Lincoln at the tip of the Eyre Peninsula. Apart from travelling through the rugged beauty of the coastline, there were lots of little surprises like this artisan bakery on the side of the road in the middle of nowhere. Magnificent bread, and we loaded up as much as we could carry. South of Elliston, the farming land was extremely tough, with surface and subsurface rocks as far as the eye could see. However, the early settlers had constructed beautiful stone fences that were still in use today, a lost art from the 19th century. Later that day, after another cold, wet ride, we camped for the night opposite Lake Hamilton between Elliston and Coffin Bay.
I just got you doing that.
We passed through extensive canola crops either side of the road as we entered the holiday town of Coffin Bay. This is a fishing town of about 600 that swells to several thousand in holiday time, and with good reason. Coffin Bay is renowned for its oysters and seafood, but in our 2 nights there, we certainly made the most of the beautiful array of seafood that's on offer. Wildlife roam free around Coffin Bay. There's plenty to do with beautiful beaches and waterways, great fishing and friendly people. After a couple of very pleasant days, warm weather, we were able to rejuvenate and then head off to Port Lincoln on a cold, wet and windy day. bad weather continued in Port Lincoln, so we didn't stay long, just one night, and then kept going up the Lincoln Highway beside the Spencer Gulf, through all the small towns, the holiday villages, that are about every 40 or 50 kilometres through to Cowell and the ferry across Spencer Gulf. At every opportunity, we took the minor roads and gravel roads so that we could enjoy the countryside and avoid the noise and the pressure of the traffic. The Eyre Peninsula is a major grain production area for Australia, as you can see from this drone perspective of a massive canola crop. Just outside of Cowell, probably within sight of the caravan park where we were going to stay, I had a flat tyre, one of the very few flat tyres, which just confirmed our SOD's law for cyclists. Section 7, any mechanical breakdowns will occur at the worst possible moment in the rain, just before you get to your destination on a late ride and in the midst of heavy traffic. Plus, cold fingers. From the town of Cowell, we rode just 20 kilometres to Lucky Bay and caught the Sea Roads ferry across the Wallaroo. It took about 2.5 hours, cost about $15, and saved us many hundreds of kilometres of a hot, dry ride up to Port Augusta and then down again to Wallaroo. Arriving in the lovely old town of Wallaroo, we headed straight out to Ceduna, just 10 kilometres, but it was going to be our stop for the night. As we rode southeast into the York and mid-north region of South Australia, we passed through rich sheep-wheat area with the fishing and tourism focused on the magnificent beaches of the Eyre Peninsula. Historically, South Australia has little natural timber for construction, so they built magnificent stone houses and public buildings. After a short stay at Gawler, just 30 kilometres north of Adelaide, we headed up into the southern Barossa Valley, one of Australia's premium wine regions, for a magnificent ride through to the upper end of the Torrens River Valley. As we got to the top end of the Torrens River Valley, sod's law struck again in the midst of heavy rain. Jackie's chain broke. With weather warnings of flash flooding and a flooded camping ground, we decided to spend the night in the Cudlee Creek Hotel. And it was a good thing we did. It rained heavily all night. The camping ground was running ankle-deep in water, not great for tent. So next morning we headed off down the Torrens River Valley in the heavy rain. And arrived about 3 hours later in central Adelaide. A magnificent ride. We spent 2 days and 3 nights resting up in stunning Adelaide, known as the City of Churches. And then we headed south to the McLaren Vale Wine Region and on to the beautiful Eyre Peninsula and down to Victor Harbour and on to Melbourne. We hope you'll join us in that final video number 5. See you later.